Hello, and welcome to the Short Stories podcast, only hosted by James this week. I'm sorry to say, but sadly, Gracie can't make it due to her own reasons. But this just means you get to spend the next 15 minutes listening to me. Now, last week, I set up the basis for a cyberpunk kind of dystopia, similar to the video game TTRPG or even Edge Runners if you've seen that. And this is my own fun spin on it. And I hope you enjoy this. Will be the final episode of the Short Stories podcast for a while. But we hope to be back, and drop us a comment if you want a season 2. So, with that out of the way, let's get back to a cyber dystopia. Now, as V, the pseudonym for a much greater name, a better name, a more wild name, the name being Roxy. As Roxy stood on the skyline, looking down at the city below, an ocean of dancing lights below her, filling her vision, filling her eyes. And as she stared down at the mass of light below, she felt the cold, raw steel of reality bring her back down, as not a second afterwards, the click of a gun was heard behind her. And from the feel of it, she knew whose gun that was. "Hi there, Jackie. Long time no see. How have you been?" A low, gravelly, deep voice replied. "I've been pretty well, thank you. What about you? You seem to be on the wrong end of my hair revolver, but we can soon change that." Yes, we can," V replied. And as quick as a bullet, V ripped through the air and soon swapped places with Jackie before grabbing him by the lapels and hanging him off the skyscraper. And his facial expression went from stoic to scared in a heartbeat. "Now then, Jackie, why would you point a gun at me? And what job do you have lined up for me?" Jackie's mask broke. "No, I don't have. It's can you help me up, please? If you give me my information, sure. And depending on how good the information is, that will vary. Now, I require some info. Do you have it or not?" Yes, I do. It's a fixer down at the afterlife, and I'm to work with you on a job. What job would that be? Oh, it's nothing. It's well, she hasn't told me. A she, is it? Yeah. If you could just help me up, that would be great. Where is it? He exclaimed. Down at the afterlife. Okay, I'll drive us there. Come on. Roxy pulled Jackie up, away from the devouring, acrid stench of the city, and they descended the staircase before getting in Jackie's car and driving to the afterlife. Now, the afterlife. What is the afterlife? The afterlife? Well, it used to be St. Thomas Mortuary, but after that went out of business. Surprising how, in a city full of death, violence, and bloodshed, a mortuary can go out of business. Guess people are too good at hiding the body nowadays. But after it failed, some rich party tycoon converted it into a nightclub. And it's now rife with fixers and criminals and people looking to get income quick, easy, and not very lawfully. Now, As uh, as Roxy and Jackie entered the place, pointed out a fiery-haired woman. Not fiery-haired as in a bright orange or red, but as in a red-haired woman whose hair seemed to be animated in a gradient way, as if her head were caught alight. She was sitting in a booth with a cocktail on the table. Jackie whispered in a muttered tone, "Roxy, Roxy, you see the woman with the fiery red hair, the green cocktail in the booth by the bar. You see her, right?" Roxy, with a hint of irritation, sat her head down in her palms and goes, "Yes, Jackie, I see her. No need to make a fuss about it. We're just going to walk our way there, plop down in the booth. By the sounds of it, she's met you and should be expecting us. Anywho, there's no need to panic about it, you dolt. Now, I'm just going to call my bike in case we need to make a quick getaway." And with that, Roxy pulled a small remote from her pocket, clicked a button, and the sound of a revving engine came from outside, a roaring fury that came from all directions. Jesus Christ, you've got some wheels, haven't you, Roxy? Would you shut up about it? No, let's make our way to the bar. Roxy and Jackie then proceeded to stride purposely towards the booth with this woman inside. And as they strode, Roxy then asked Jackie, "What did you say that your fixer's name was?" And Jackie replied, Ruby Jones. That's her name, I think. Anyway, alright. As they both walked to the booth and helped themselves to a seat opposite her, in a sly voice, she said, "Ah, well, you must be this V I've heard about. Or would you prefer Roxy?" "Either's fine," Roxy said. "Okay then, Roxy. I have a job for you and your friend there. I would like you to rob the Night City Bank." A stunned silence crossed the booth. Roxy then exclaimed, "The Night City Bank? Are you serious? You want us to rob the Night City Bank? I've heard tell of people who've tried it. They haven't ended exactly well. I don't plan on going out like some of the other people in this godforsaken city. Now, why should we rob the Night City Bank?" After this outburst, Ruby said, "There is another job I need you to do beforehand. I need you to get a mimic mask off the Cage Gang. They're a poser gang. They all look like an actor from like 70 years ago. Still has relevance today though, so there's that. But crux of the matter is, there's a job I need you to do, and I'm willing to pay you, and you can have a cut of the take." He then asked, "How large is the cut me and Jackie will be getting?" "I won't go anything below 35, 35, 30. Ruby then looked on in not astonishment, but fury, as she said through gritted teeth, "I was thinking 25, 25, 50. I mean, I do have a bunch of other people who say they'll be willing to do it for that cut. Should I go to them?" Before then, Roxy's blurted out, "No, because we will get it done, unlike the other riffraff in this city. We want 35, 35, 30. Thank you very much. We're the ones putting our necks on the line." and you're just sitting back expecting a cash reward. So it's that or nothing. Ruby then said, fine, I'll be willing to go 35, 35, 30. If you also get me a specialized cyber deck within one of the vaults. It should be pretty obvious where it is. It's on a headdress, and the code would be 5228. I've scouted it out. Then why haven't you taken it? He exclaimed. Because too much heat. There is some elements I would find very difficult to control, and I need 2 people to take the fall in case it goes wrong. Gee, thanks, V said. Why should we agree to take the fall for you if we're caught? For Ruby slowly said, that's the thing, Roxy. It's a rather big if. If you get caught, you see? So you just have one simple task. Don't get caught. It's that simple. And then after that, you're free to do with the money what you want with it. Roxy, nodding their head, said, okay. How much are we looking to take here? 1 million euro dollars. 1 million? He exclaimed. Yes, 1 million. Is that not enough for you? No, it's just more than I was expecting, that's all. We'll get right on it. Where's this cage gang you're talking about? They are at Jig Street, by the Cyberdome. It's the alley near the, Rob's shop. The one which does all the cyber stuff. Oh yeah, I know the place. Do you want to keep a watch on Jackie? I can do this myself. Alrighty then. Good luck, Roxy. I hope to see you in the future. Now, we'll do further planning in my apartment. It's apartment block 4, room AB1. You can find me there, and that's when the real game will begin. Alrighty then, I'll see you there. Roxy exited the afterlife with a smug smile on her face. She had just got a job worth 1 million euro dollars. All she had to do was make a bit of tech, and she'd be rolling in it. She got on her motorbike, parked outside the nightclub she'd called it earlier, and she went off to Jig Street. Finding the alley, she was taken aback, as the poser gang were difficult to miss. By the looks of it, there were 12 of them. 12 different iterations of Nicolas Cage, the actor. Popular in the late 1900s and early 2000s. As Roxy walked up to them, they stood at the front and had guns in their hands, all drawn, all pointed at Roxy. And as Roxy raised her arms in surrender, that is where we will end for this week. Now, sorry to leave you on the cliffhanger. I'll come up with the next part of this podcast in a couple of weeks. We'll be taking a bit of a break, but use the time to listen to the rest of our videos, and we can listen to it then. And in the third and final bit of this story, we will see how this bank heist goes. I would like to thank you for listening to my story. Sorry it carried a bit over, but it's what we're good at. And hopefully next week, Gracie can join us. So with that, I wish you all a very nice rest of your day, and I hope to see you at some point in the future. This is James, signing off.